Here is the English translation, keeping the original meaning and tone as closely as possible. You only looked away for 10 seconds, and the sandwich on the table disappeared. When you turned back, your dog was chewing happily, with a face that said nothing happened. Or maybe it wasn't food. You walked into the room and found a pillow torn apart, stuffing scattered across the floor. Or even simpler, the t-shirt you wore yesterday suddenly vanished, only to reappear in your dog's bed, perfectly intact, as if it had been stored. At first glance, all of these look the same. Your dog took something. But the truth is, they are completely different. The dog lying on your shirt, the dog shredding the pillow, and the dog stealing the sandwich. Each of these behaviors comes from a completely different psychological mechanism. This isn't just about being naughty or disobedient. Inside their brain, different systems are being activated, from seeking safety, to releasing energy, to responding to rewards. Scientific studies, even those using brain scans to directly observe dogs, have shown that these seemingly simple moments actually reveal surprisingly complex ways of thinking. What you call bad behavior may actually be instinct, emotion, or even a form of communication. And once you understand that, you'll realize the problem isn't that your dog is doing something wrong. It's that you're misunderstanding why it's doing it. You think your dog is stealing your old shirt, but in reality, it's looking for you. Imagine this. You walk into the room and find your worn t-shirt in your dog's bed. Not chewed, not destroyed, just lying there, with your dog curled up on it, as if holding on to something important. At first, it may seem meaningless, but in a dog's world, this is one of the deepest emotional behaviors. Research shows that the scent of a familiar human, especially the owner, strongly activates the brain's reward and positive emotion centers in dogs. In fact, this response can be even stronger than when they smell food. That means your worn shirt isn't just an object. It's a concentrated version of you. When your dog takes your shirt and brings it somewhere soft to lie on, it's not being mischievous or possessive. It's creating a safe space where it can feel your presence, even when you're not there. Your scent helps calm its nervous system, reduce stress, lower heart rate, and create a sense of security. This is also why, in veterinary clinics, owners are often advised to leave behind an item with their scent when their dog stays overnight. Not just for emotional reasons, but because it has measurable physiological effects. So, the next time your shirt disappears and shows up in your dog's bed, don't assume it's doing something wrong. The truth is, it's just trying to be closer to you, in the only way it knows how. Have you ever seen this? Your dog gently picks up the TV remote, then stands still. No running, no destruction, just staring at you. As if it's waiting for something. And the moment you stand up, call its name, or move toward it, the game begins. It runs. You chase, a loop around the living room, a quick glance back, and suddenly, you realize you've been pulled into it. Here's the interesting part. To you, it's stealing. But to your dog, it's a carefully designed game. The remote, irrelevant. Your reaction is the reward. In behavioral psychology, this is called operant conditioning. When a dog performs an action and receives an engaging response, attention, voice, movement, its brain records, do this equals good outcome. What makes this behavior so addictive is your inconsistency. Sometimes you chase, sometimes you laugh, sometimes you trade with food, and sometimes you ignore it. This randomness creates what's known as a variable reinforcement schedule, the same principle that makes slot machines addictive. Not knowing when the reward will come is exactly what makes the behavior repeat even more. So, when your dog runs around with a sock in its mouth, occasionally glancing back to check if you're still chasing, it's not being stubborn. It's playing a game called Keep Away, a social game commonly observed in puppies. In other words, your dog isn't going against you. It's inviting you into its world. The real question is, do you realize you may have accidentally taught it this game from the beginning? A dog's carrying behavior isn't random. It's the result of thousands of years of evolution. Inside every modern dog still exists an ancient instinct known as the predatory sequence. Observe, stalk, chase, grab, bite, shake, and consume. In wolves, this entire sequence is used for survival. But through selective breeding, Humans have enhanced or reduced different parts depending on the dog's role. For example, herding dogs like border collies were bred to emphasize staring and stalking, while minimizing biting. That's why they can control livestock without harming them. Retrievers like Labradors, on the other hand, were developed to gently grab and carry without damaging prey. That's why they can bring back a bird intact. Meanwhile, terriers were bred for strong bite and shake instincts, useful for hunting small animals. The problem is, in modern life, most dogs no longer have a job to perform these instincts. But instincts don't disappear, they redirect. So when your dog carries your shoe around the house with pride, it's not misbehaving. It's expressing the deeply ingrained instinct, the same one its ancestors used with prey. In other words, your shoe isn't just an object to your dog. It's an unfinished task, and if it has no other outlet, it will create one. You might think your dog is simply taking advantage when you turn your back, but the truth is far more fascinating. Dogs don't just see, they understand whether you can see them. In experiments, researchers placed food in a room and told dogs not to take it. Then they changed one small factor, lighting. The result: dogs took food 4 times more often in the dark. But the key detail wasn't whether the dog could see the food. It was whether the human could see the dog. In other tests, when a human's line of sight was blocked, dogs quickly took the opportunity. This reveals something remarkable. Dogs are not acting impulsively. They are calculating. In their mind, there's a simple model. If you can see them, then risk. If you can't, then opportunity. This is called perspective taking, a cognitive ability once thought to exist mainly in humans and primates. So next time food disappears the moment you turn away, understand, it wasn't an accident. It was a decision. Not all stealing behaviors are the same. And misunderstanding this is why many people respond incorrectly. There's a crucial difference between 2 states, low arousal and high arousal. In a calm state, your dog may gently carry your belongings to its bed and lie on them. No damage, just comfort. This is emotional security-seeking behavior. In a high arousal state, destruction appears, torn pillows, shredded objects. This is usually caused by boredom, excess energy, or stress. Each requires a completely different response. Have you ever wondered why your dog ignores its toys, but always chooses your slippers? It's not because the toys aren't good. It's because they're no longer new. Studies show dogs choose novel items 76% of the time. Your belongings are exciting because they're new, rich in scent, and constantly changing. Your dog's brain is wired to seek novelty. So if your items are the most interesting things available, it will keep choosing them. There's a phase almost every dog owner goes through. Your dog ignores commands, steals everything, and seems rebellious. This is adolescence. Between 6 months and 2 years, dogs become more impulsive, curious, and likely to test boundaries. Around 12 months is the peak. This isn't failure, it's development. Chasing your dog when it steals something may feel natural, but it actually makes things worse. Over time, your dog learns. Having something equals conflict. This leads to resource guarding. A better approach is trading, offering something more valuable in exchange. This teaches, giving up equals good outcome. There's also a line you shouldn't ignore. If your dog starts swallowing objects, not just carrying or chewing, it could signal anxiety, impulsivity, or even medical issues. If it becomes frequent, escalates, or includes symptoms like vomiting or weight loss, it's no longer a training issue. It's a veterinary concern. Dogs don't steal because they're bad. They do it to connect, to play, to express instinct, and sometimes because they're smarter than we expect. And when you understand that, everything changes. Because your dog isn't working against you. It's trying to get closer to you.